I have a number of effects units, multi-effects units. I have a box full of individual effects and a couple pedal boards I put together. But for playing gigs, I've really gotten to the point where I like multi-effects units. And I've had multi-effects units on and off for the past 25 years. I'd say my first one was an Ibanez multi-effects unit back in the early 90s. And Ibanez doesn't even make multi-effects anymore. But I've had a Boss ME30, I think it is, and an ME50, and they're both nice. They're okay. And then about 6 months ago I bought this Digitech RP255, and I really like it a lot. It was on sale, stupid deal of the day on Musician's Friend. I paid less than $100 for it. As I remember, it was closer to $80. And it really has great sounds in it, especially the reverbs, which are Lexicon reverbs. Digitech owns Lexicon. So you get Lexicon reverbs and delays and all kinds of effects, and they all sound good. There's only one problem. This is great for being in the studio, being at home, doing some home recording, whatever, because you can set up the sound you want and just use it. But for a live gig, if you're on this setting, let's say this is setting number 10 and you want to go to setting number 20, you actually have to hit the pedal 19 more times to get up to the next level. So it only has up and down. It doesn't have any banks. But the sounds are very, very good. So I like this, but I need more than this. So about 2 weeks ago, I bought this. This is more. This has got most of the same sounds, maybe a few extra, but I think it's got mostly all the same sounds as the RP255. This is the RP500. But as you can see, this has a lot of options for playing live that are very nice. You still have the up and down, but in this case, you're going up and down to banks. Okay, so let's say the first set of numbers is this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I go up, it's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As you can see, the numbers changing there. And a little more display screen to describe what your sounds are. There's also a few more knobs for a little better control, and one of the things that this does is you can push this pedal board button and this just becomes a pedal board in that setting. So if I have this setting on, I can turn the delay on and off, the reverb, the distortion, whatever I'm using for that setting. If you go to the next setting up, you get a completely different set of things. But I want it as a pedal board that will do, I can change. So you can go in banks of 5. So example on mine is, my first bank is a lot of clean stuff. That's a perfectly clean setting. Here's a clean setting with chorus. Here's a light distortion. This is a clean with delay and reverb, and this one is clean with just delay. And then if I'm going into another song that needs a little distortion, overdrive, I go up to the next setting. I always start with clean. I have clean, first level, low level distortion, low level distortion 2 for, these are two rhythms, two different rhythms, then a lead at a certain volume with delay, and then this one is a louder version of this with a little more sustain and more compression. Okay, hopefully I was able to move it on this screen a little bit, and I'll give you an idea how quick it is to edit on this thing, because multi-effects can be easy or complicated. As I said, I've had a number of them, and I think this is very easy to program. You start with a sound. Let's start with this sound, and you have a list of things here: wah, compression, distortion, amps and cabinets, equalizers, noise gate, chorus, delay, reverb, and expression. Okay, and then down here you have a preset set of tone libraries or an effects library. You have a whole bunch of different things here, but these controls will control what's happening on here. So if I want to go, let's say, to a go work on one of the distortions, I go up here to distortion. I do this. As you can see, this turns the that's a tube screamer, Ibanez 808. You can go through these and pretty much figure out what they were going for. The DOD. This is something of Digitech itself called Redline, pretty nice. The rodent is, of course, your rat. And then you go across here and it says gain. So you would set the gain, how loud the gain is on the rat. Then you go across here to the distortion level. That's pretty much what was on a rat, so that's what is on this thing. If you go to the tube screamer, a tube screamer has gain, so you could do the gain. You go across and it has the distortion level, which is just your output level. Okay? Alright. So after you've done all that and you wanted to save it, all you have to do is go down here and hit the store button. And if I hit it once, it'll start blinking. And then I hit it again, it'll store that thing. Now, you're saying, well, how do you get it into a spot? Well, as I say, these are, if I hit this, okay, you could change the name here. If I hit it again, it's asking me, where do you want to put it? Well, there's 100 places to put things in here, and as we know, they're in banks of 5. Now, I've already done 30 of them, so let's say I want to go up to save this setting in the first open slot I have, which is 31, store. Now that is in 31, okay? So that's the beginning of my next bank. I have 3 banks that I program, 3 banks of 5 each, and that's the first setting in the next bank up. Okay, so it's really easy to do, and there's lots of controls here, and you could turn the amp and cabinet bypass switch. If you're going directly into your own amp and you don't want one of the internal amp settings, like the 55 twin Fender, the Marshall JTM. You once again, you'll know what these are, Plexi. You'll know what these amps are when you see them on the screen here. All right, and one of them that I find really nice is this 59 Bassman, which you wouldn't believe how good this sounds on just nice fat guitar stuff. Alright, you also have, hold down this bypass switch, which will either bypass you directly to your amp with none of this affecting your amp. Your guitar comes in and goes out to the amp. Or, if you hold it down for a few seconds, now this is in tuner mode. Alright, so you can tune your guitar. There's a tap tempo here for your delay. And your expression pedal over here is really nice. It's generally a volume pedal, but when you step forward on it and you have the wah turned on, you will get the wah pedal. And it's not one of those that, my problem with the Boss pedal that I have is you really had to stomp hard on the toe of this to make it work. This one works by some kind of sensor. When you get down, it turns it on. So you do have to be a little careful that you don't take, when you're doing your wah, that you don't take it completely to the floor, because it'll turn the wah off. But the nice thing is it'll turn it on very quickly and easily and turn it off very quickly and easily. There's so much to tell you about this this unit that I'm just giving you the very briefest overview of it. It does a lot, and you can do as much as you want with it. You can tweak this stuff to your heart's content. And that's one thing I will say about it. You can do as much as you want or as little as you want, but the more time you put into it, the closer you're going to get to the sound that you want. You can get any kind of sound out of this thing, and you can tweak it to death, okay, and save all your settings, and then come back to it weeks later and tweak it some more. And that's exactly what these units are great for. Okay, one last thing to talk about. Let's talk about the inputs and outputs. Let's start over here. Input for your guitar. This is a amp mixer switch that gives you the right output to drive an amp or a mixer. Left and right outputs, stereo outputs. If you just use the left one, it comes out mono. Headphone, MP3 in case you want to play along to some tracks or something to rehearse. Ground lift switch in case you're getting some kind of hum. This will work for the low impedance. This is with the low impedance left and right outputs over here. That's what the lift switch is for. Then you got a USB here. What the USB is for is you can plug into your computer through your USB, and the unit comes with a software that allows you to program and store your settings on your computer. Now, I haven't used this yet, so I can't tell you how well it works or anything else, but there is a software disk that comes with this unit that has a version of Cubase recording software and the software that will work with this unit. And this is just your 9-volt power input. So as far as I'm concerned, this is a great unit so far. It's all metal too, in case I didn't mention that before, and I like that a lot. Heavy duty switches and all metal, so it can really take some punishment. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope I helped.